What's up, family? Welcome back to another video. Get this video a big thumbs up if you get some value from it. As always, I'm just here to have a conversation. So what a game that we witnessed between the Denver Nuggets and OKC Friday. And I know they play tonight. That's what I want to give my I wanted to give my overview, let alone my commentary on Friday's game before the game that plays tonight. And that game was one for the books, a game that honestly the Nuggets had no business winning, but they did. And that's the mark of a championship caliber team. But let's break it down. So first off, let's talk about Nikola Jokic, right? The best player in the world, the reigning MVP, just had one of his worst offensive performances we ever seen in his prime. 20 points, 16 rebounds, and 6 assists. Sounds decent, right? But he had also 8 turnovers and missed all 10 of his 3-point attempts. And that's not the Joker we're used to seeing. But the key here is, despite him struggling offensively, the Nuggets found a way to win. And that's what separates good teams from great ones. And it's not just about having an MVP on your squad. It's about everyone stepping up when your main guy is off his game. And that's exactly what we saw with Michael Porter Jr. He's been criticized earlier in the playoffs, but Friday night he stepped up with 21 points and 8 rebounds. The man is out there shooting even when he could barely lift his arm over his head. Talk about grit. Aaron Gordon deserves a deeper dive. We've seen his evolution from being a flashy dunker to a clutch shooter. He hit a critical three-pointer to send the game to overtime. Back in 2023, he was shooting 34% from three. Now, he's become a reliable perimeter threat, hitting 4 out of 6 from beyond the arc Friday night. And it's not just about the numbers, it's about when he's hitting these shots, the pressure moments, right? The ones that swing momentum. That's where Aaron Gordon is showing his growth. Now, let's talk about Peyton Watson. This guy doesn't get much shine, but he was vital in Friday's night game. Off the bench, he brought the energy that the Denver needed. Think about it, though. Really think about it. When your MVP is struggling, when your team is on the ropes, and you need those unsung heroes to step up, Watson was that guy Friday night. He had a couple threes, got a couple big blocks, and was drawing at the crowd, bringing the intensity that a lot of players seem to lack. He only played 17 minutes, but those were 17 impactful minutes. And now let's shift to OKC for a minute, man. That was a roller coaster for the Oklahoma Thunder. They dominated game 2 with a 43-point blowout. When it came to crunch time on Friday, they fell apart. That's the difference between a young, talented team and a team that knows how to close. The Thunder have youth, athleticism, and a tons of potential, but they just couldn't keep their composure down the stretch. You got Alexander and Gilgis Alexander, one of the most electrifying guards in the league, struggled to get his usual mid-range game going. Denver packed that paint and dared OKC to shoot from outside. And the result, brick after brick after brick. The Thunder shot a miserable 23% from 3 in regulation. Guys like Lou Dart, who's usually confident, letting it fly, passed up open shots. That's a mental game. And Denver won it. Down the stretch, Jamal Murray stepped up. The man was visibly exhausted, but he shot. He still hit crucial shots in overtime. Denver is notorious for being a high altitude city, and OT is a killer for visiting teams. You could see in OKC's faces they were gassed. Meanwhile, Denver played 40 games a season at this altitude, and they're built for this. And this was one of those games when you see a difference between playoff experience and raw talent. OKC has the talent, no question. They got a core that can run with anyone in the league, but Denver has the experience, the pose, and the grit. They don't panic even when their MVP is having a rare off night. And speaking of experience, let's talk about how Denver's defensive schemes stifle OKC's offense. The Nuggets ran the zone, something we're seeing more and more of in these playoffs. It's like every team is pulling out the zone now, daring shooters to beat them from the outside, and OKC just couldn't capitalize. They had open looks, but didn't have the confidence to take them. And it's one thing to be a good shooter in the regular season, and it's another thing to hit shots in those crunch time moments in a playoff game. And that brings us to the intangibles, right? The things you can't measure in a box score. Championship DNA, grit, resilience. Denver showed all of that night. They were down multiple times. They weren't hitting shots. Their MVP was struggling, but they stayed composed. They stayed together, and that's what winning teams do. Now, switching gears, right? I want to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers and Indiana Pacers game. The Cavs came out with the big three, Garland, Mobley, and Mitchell. Garland was visibly laboring with his injury, and Evan Mobley showed why he's a defensive player of the year candidate. He was everywhere, blocks, deflections, you name it. And Donovan Mitchell, the guy is averaging over 40 points per game in the series, and he's relentless, attacking the basket, taking hits, and still finishing through contact. And on the Pacers side, you got Tyrese Halliburton. He had a rough night, only 4 points. He was pretty much taken out the game by the Cleveland zone defense, and the Cavs switched it up, putting Mobley at the top of a putting Mobley at the top of a 3-2 zone, and it completely threw the Pacers off. It's one of those adjustments that can change the series. So what's the takeaway here? Well, what I'm trying to say, family, is experience matters. The Nuggets, despite Jokic having his off night, know how to close games. The Thunder, not quite there yet, and the Cavaliers, they're looking like they're starting to figure things out, especially with Mitchell in attack mode. So, what do you guys think? Is Denver proving they can win even when Jokic isn't his usual MVP self? And are the Cavs ready to make a deep run? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more breakdowns like this. If you guys enjoyed them, let me know. Spread that peace, love, and positivity. Let the love supersede the hate. I'll catch you in the next one, folks. Peace.